I once heard someone say that we live two lives, the one we learn with and the one we live with after that. See, in 2009, I did something that I've never really been able to forgive myself for. I sold my sailboat to raise funds so that I could invest in what I thought was a worthwhile project. But 3 years later, the project failed. I lost just about everything I had trying to save the deal, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. When the dust had settled and everyone had gone home, it was pretty clear that this financial disaster was going to leave a scar. What I didn't know was just how deep that scar would go, and how the guilt of failure would change my life in ways that I could never really imagine. At the time, I didn't know where I was going to go or what I was going to do next. But the one thing I knew for sure was that I had to somehow find a way back to the life I had before that investment. Somehow, some way, I had to get another sailboat and live out the rest of my life doing the one thing that I loved most. I spent the next several years living in a van, trying to make enough money each month to keep the van from being repossessed. And now, almost 10 years later, I'm beginning to believe that maybe, just maybe, there is that second life that I'd heard about. The one you live with after the one you've learned with. I've certainly learned that there's more to life than how big your bank account is or how much material wealth you've accumulated. What's the point of it all in the end anyway? As difficult as the whole experience was, and as bad as I feel for everyone involved, I truly feel fortunate that it happened to me. Because if it hadn't, well, I probably wouldn't be in the position I'm in right now, that's for sure. I might still be out there chasing the almighty dollar and allowing life to control me instead of me controlling my life. I spent a number of years living and traveling in that van, and I have to admit, looking back on it now, I wouldn't change a thing. And Missy and I, well, we're driving this little beauty on our way to move aboard our new home, a 1983 Mason 43 sailboat. She's a broken down 35-year-old classic that was damaged in Hurricane Harvey, and she's just been sitting there and waiting for just the right person to come along. I'll admit that I've been told by more than one person that I would be crazy to buy a boat of this age in this kind of condition. But the fact is, there was really no way I could afford anything else. I needed to find something that I could recondition and make it my own. So, here I am. Life is strange. I'm the new owner of a beat-up, neglected old sailboat in need of some serious love and attention. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Hurricane Harvey caused an incredible amount of damage to homes and local business and the lives of thousands of people. Some of the stories I've heard are really heartbreaking. But when the wind stopped and the water receded, somehow, while all others sunk around her, this boat was still afloat. She was battered and bruised, but still alive. It's weird how life works. If not for all the unfortunate damage that she sustained, I wouldn't be here right now. But the same could be said for her. She and I have both weathered a couple of serious storms that life blew our way, but we've both somehow survived, and also somehow we found one another. Now, I know that may sound a bit corny, but I believe it's true. And even with as much work as she needs to get her sailing again, I truly feel lucky. I feel lucky that I've found an opportunity to do something that I've always wanted to do, something that most people can only dream about. And the one thing I can guarantee is that I plan to make the most of this opportunity. As they say, life is short. We've all heard it before. But it really is. As for me, well, let's just say I'm living in overtime. But it doesn't matter. I've accepted the hand I was dealt, and honestly, I'm excited to see where life takes Missy and I this next time around. Whatever it is, or wherever it is, I'm fine with it. The one thing I know for sure is that for whatever reason, this boat and I ended up in the same place together. And while I may appear to be fixing her, I can assure you that she's fixing me as well. It's time to start living again. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.